And we're back with another video from this week's GTA Online weekly update, and this is for the Grotti Visione. So available on sale this week for about 1.6 million. This is based on the, oh hold on a minute, I've got this written down somewhere, hold on, it's the Ferarri Yep, it is based on everyone's favourite Ferrari. Don't you remember at school talking about the new Ferrari? Yeah, no, me neither. Never heard of it till it turned up here, which is why I knew I was going to hate this car, because I knew this was just another one of those random cars that someone had seen somewhere and thought, ooh, that must be what players want, let's do that. And that's what they did. Instead of giving us cars that we want, you know, like things like the original NSX or the Trackhawk or a Caterham or some Dualies, all that kind of stuff, you know, the stuff that people have wanted from the game for so long. Now I can't complain too much because they have just given us the Fox Body, Mustang and Cop Cars, and we've got the Mercedes coming, so I can't judge them too harshly for that. But anyway, that's why I knew, even before I got behind the wheel of this thing, I was going to hate it. So imagine my surprise when I didn't. So being a Grotti, obviously it's based on a Ferrari, and it has a really nice sound. It does have a really nice sound. Whether you like the look, it's a very personal thing. As I say, it's based on the Ferrari, but there is definitely a little bit of McLaren P1 thrown in there as well, which is why I've gone for this sort of P1 style livery, which I think looks pretty cool. Drive wise, it really surprised me. As I said before, I knew I was going to hate it, but then you get in, it's actually quite lively. It doesn't seem to have a huge amount of downforce, it doesn't seem to have an excessive amount of grip. So if you look at the original non-sale price of this car sells for 2.5 million. So is this worth 2.5 million? No, not if you got 10. Not if you got 10 for that money. It's not worth 2.5 million. It's a perfectly nice, reasonable car. There's a fair amount of customization, not much as ever. Some of these supercars are really disappointing with the customization. You know, you might get some nice liveries, but you're not really going to be able to do much with them, and it is disappointing in that respect. So at 2.5 million, no, definitely not. But what about the sale price? What if we even look at this at the sale price? 1.6 million. Is it worth 1.6 million this week? Well, based on this drive, you know, it's actually alright. I'm not disliking it. I think it's a lot better than I expected it to be. However, if I look down the list of cars that I could be driving for about 1.6 million, even when they're not in the sale, and I have to say, I've even included the sports cars in this category. So in the sale, this is 1.6 million. For 1.8, you're getting the Devastate, one of the fastest cars in the game, possibly the fastest car in the game, in the right hands with the HSW upgrade. And then here's when it gets problematic, because it depends whether you're into looks, performance or both. Because for 1.5 million, at normal price, which is less than this thing is up for on sale, you can get the Wagner. And the Wagner, I think, is one of the best looking sports cars in the entire game. It's superbly quick, it has an excellent lap time, everything about it's fabulous. Or if you just want to pose, so if you were buying this because you want a pose mobile, the Nero, the Trafade Nero, is only 1.4 million at normal price, and that's less than this is on sale. Or if you're feeling really tight, you can go for the Pariah. For 1.4 million you can get a Pariah which will knock spots off of this thing. So now that I've continued whining about it, let's have a look at the top speed. So for those of you that are new to the channel, I've measured a 1 mile section of track that I drive as quickly as possible, do a little bit of simple maths, and that gives you an achievable top speed through traffic. And this is what the Visione managed to do. So, final thoughts and review. Is it worth it? Well, again, this is all down to what stage you're at in the game, how much money you have, and more importantly, whether you like how this thing looks. So at 1.6 million, it's not a huge amount of money. It's a Kaio and a bit. That's the way I look at all expensive purchases in the game. How many Kaios do you need to do to pay for it? And this is 1 and a bit Kaios. Is it worth 1 and a bit Kaios? Do you know what? It probably is. It probably is. Especially if you like how it looks. But if you're all about performance, if you're building up a collection of the best cars that you can on the tightest budget possible, then if I had 1.6 million to spend on a performance car this week, I'd definitely buy the Wagner, even though it's not on offer. I think it's a better car, I personally think it's better looking, and you'll do a faster lap and win more in the Wagner than you ever will in this. So, as usual, I'll give you a nice, contradictory and confusing piece of advice. And here's the time it managed to do. And here's where it sits on the lap board. So I've got a couple more to do for this week. I've got the Reinhardt. I'm still hoping to win the Ruiner ZZ8 from the wheel, hopefully. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all in the next one.